Welcome back to this best of 3 between Fringo, Fox, and Zeb. And now, let's get the dramatic lights on. In the blue corner, coming in with 1 win in this best of 3 series, it's Fringo Fox! Now in the red corner, coming in as I believe the number 2 seed in this tournament, it is Zeb316, also with 1 win, and it is time. This is it, best of 3, final match between these two. It is 2 titans of the rando going head-to-head against each other. An amazing number 1 game, an amazing race number 2. Looking forward to this absolutely outstanding race number 3. Derp joining me on comms. Derp, what's happening?
Not much. I'm in awe of the introduction you gave, personally. I'm pumped. I'm ready. Let's get it. Game 3.
This is how you. Yeah, this is how you get ready for a game 3. You get in that mindset. You get pumped. You get ready. 2 titans ready to go at it, ready to advance in this tournament. Advancement here on the line for both of these runners in the upper bracket. This is definitely something to keep in mind here. This is going to be actually this upper bracket or lower bracket. I think it's
this is upper bracket round 2.
That's what I thought. Winner goes on to face Glove in the next round. Loser is heading on down to take on the winner of Count Cranberry versus A0. A lot on the line, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. The racers are off and running, and it is time.
That's a scary losers round 2, honestly. A0 versus either of these 2 runners. That is, both are very good. That's a good match for so early in the losers bracket. Kind of crazy how many good runners are in this tournament.
It's insane. Lot of good races coming up tonight. A stacked night of Super Metroid Rando here in the tournament. More on that later, but first, Derp. It'd be nice to not see Morph Ball here for a change, but I think with the settings that we have, it has to be.
There has to be Morph Ball at one of these first 2 items. I do have some good news for you, though.
You're entering the race as the next number 1 seed? Oh, you're already in the race? You already won?
Yeah, I actually beat both of these runners. No, Zeb started his timer this time, so...
Hey, we got a timer for Zeb. We got a timer for Zeb. We got a timer for Zeb. Listen, as commentary teams, we are very happy to see a timer from more than 1 runner.
It doesn't actually make that big of a difference, but nice to get the streams perfectly synced. Now we know exactly who is ahead in the early game. It is Zeb, a few seconds ahead to that Morph Ball.
First 2 items identical. Yep.
No shenanigans. We are going to see a meme route check.
Yep. Pretty standard. Early.
Yeah, it feels really bad to have to not check that in area rando, especially if you have to go back for it because it's something important.
Yep.
So, yeah, seeds where you don't get power bombs early just end up feeling so much worse, even if you end up just routing back to it naturally somewhere in like Red Tower or something.
So standard 4 items here. The same 4 items we started the last race with here, Derp. And I also want to point out, and I'm glad chat kind of called Derp out on it, just counting out Count Cranberry, huh?
Oh yeah, Count Cranberry is very good too. I have to hype up my boy A0 because he's a fellow door rando player. I have to cheer for him whenever I can.
Nice Main Street find, though.
Yeah, neither runner going to go for the crazy crab hole play. Obviously, could be a dead end, and the runners would be forced to full reset. I've heard different opinions on that. I know some people really like going there in that situation, but I think the same situation came in the Glove versus Plumpster race. You know, game 3 of a series, you really don't want to be playing that risky.
No, you really don't. And, you know, that was definitely something to watch in that one. So, it's going to be an absolutely amazing day of Super Metroid Rando. There was so much going on today. Later on today, we're going to have MM2 NES cartridge versus Nevdi, Adraxis versus Kip. not Gwen versus Zosti. There's so much action coming up here, and it'll be nice when Zeb and Fringo are done, just to sit back, relax, prep for their next matches, and just take the time to relax, because third game in a row, they've been playing this now for what, 3 hours or so? Not including practice, probably including a little bit of practice. Like, there's just
something along those lines.
That's a lot of racing to do, and now you have to wonder, does this impact them maybe a little bit mentally by any chance, with just so much? We see Fringo missing a couple of wall jumps, Zeb getting the early spazer at Bomb Terizo. Just, it's seemingly wearing.
So, I've done a lot of practice with Zeb recently. I think he's probably fine with me saying this publicly. Zeb doesn't usually use a tracker for these. Like, he actually remembers all of the portals and all of the information in his head during the races.
So what you're saying is Zeb is a genius. Got it.
I am saying Zeb is a genius, but he's talked about it recently of, like, during game 3 of a 3-game series, switching to a tracker because of how many things he has to remember in a row. You know, tracking 2 seeds mentally is really taxing, and
yeah,
it's something I'll have to remember to ask him about at the end of this race if he decided to switch to a tracker for game 3, just to take some of the load off of his mental.
Yeah,
have to remember a little bit less in a grueling 4-hour series.
Mm-hmm. Is that what the Czech Terminator? Fringo not that far behind. It's just an energy tank, so nothing crazy so far with this seed here, but these next couple doors could lead us to some craziness. I think we're gonna see a red tower connector here for the Torian door.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the items they found in Criteria. Spazer Beam and Bomb Terizo, and a second E-Tank here.
Oh,
here's a green Brintstar.
It's the green Brintstar entrance, so... And we do see a lot of runners do this. You're right there. Check the other door.
Yeah, you don't want to skip this other door. Even if you're just going to leave, which I assume Zeb will. There's top of red tower. Nice to know they'll probably not need to go up that elevator. At least not until much later. But there's no reason to not be getting that portal knowledge right away.
Yep.
I also like the decision for both runners not to go down the elevator. There was the option to do that and then check the other portal at the top of Red Tower and then go up to Green Brintstar, but that's 2 elevator transitions early on.
Yeah, no, I like getting
portal.
Green Brintstar out of the way with now.
Yeah, I think the decision to just go straight into Green Brintstar is probably correct.
Nice powerbomb find, though, from Zeb. And while I was doing my crazy intro, my name is Adam, aka WXFan21, joined on comms by Derp, Digi, our amazing tracker. And I am really excited to see what we're going to find here in Green Bryn. Oh, Zeb finding back of Lower Norfair.
That's a little bit awkward to get back to, honestly.
Really is.
Not in the best spot ever, but we'll see what the rest of Green Bryn has in store. If they find Varia and some kind of decent item, we may see a crazy play from Zeb going back to it. But that's pretty far away.
Yeah, so. Well, I'm really wondering here. We get another energy tank. Are we gonna find a Varia suit behind Wave Door? That would be fun.
That's possible. We saw Varia in Green Brintstar last race at the Edikun item, and Gravity behind Wavegate actually in the same seed. Could be something equally funny, but you'll have to see.
From Zeb. Who needs Wave Beam for a Wave Door? Oh, hello, Ice Beam.
It's a nice item to find early. An ice item, if you will.
See what you did there.
Yeah, but finding ice, having the ability to get through Batoon Hallway, as well as a much faster Metroid room, it can be a little bit annoying to have Ice Beam on early because you have to double hit a lot of the enemies that you normally one-shot, but it's a good item to have. No doubt about it. We'll see if either of the runners decide to unequip it for the moment, though. Also a nice super missile here at the pink Bryn missile. Big pink missile.
Now we'll see what the Edacoon's Major has.
Yeah, not the most interesting start ever, which, to be fair, in Game 3, I think both of the runners are going to appreciate a more straightforward opening, just getting a criteria into Green Bryn Star.
Yeah.
As it turns out, if you have played Super Metroid at all, you've done this sequence a few times. So I think the runners are more than happy to just... I don't want to say autopilot completely, but they have a fairly simple opening to the seed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and again, like you said, I think the runners will appreciate it as opposed to, you know, like I personally want for commentating, I want craziness. The runners don't want craziness. This is Game 3. Been a very back and forth first couple games, and I think both these runners just like, can we just get something easy, please? Oh, hello, Super Missile.
Yeah, Zeb will definitely go back for that. Hey, that's the very suit I was talking about.
Hello, Varia.
Yeah, we'll see what's at the top of Green Bryn Star. If it ends up being a dead end for Zeb, I wonder if he's crazy enough to go into LN. I don't think so, but it's so isolated. It's really hard to get back to it. It's just, if you had like one more good LN item, like Plasma or Screw Attack, I think Zeb would 100% be going for it. But 4E Tanks and Varia is probably a little bit too bold.
I think he does it anyway.
We'll see. We'll see if it's a dead end anyways. If top of Green Bryn leads to basically anything they can get through, I assume Zeb just does that instead. And Fringo as well.
Croc.
Croc would be nice. I assume both runners would do it in that case. And if Croc gets, if they find one of those important LN items at Croc, then that makes the play a lot more feasible. I actually would like to see Croc here. That would be interesting. I would like to see Croc and then Croc having good items more specifically. It's true that they don't have a great way to get out of... They don't have a way to get out of Dragon, really. I guess Zeb can get a flash suit from Crystal Flash ammo. Fringo as well. Not going to happen, though. We do see the bottom of Red Bryn Star at the top of Green Bryn Star.
Hello.
So Zeb going to be doing that instead. And most likely Fringo as well. Yeah, Green Bryn Star, or Red Bryn Star, definitely a nice find here. Zeb, I don't know if he... Okay, he did get the jump. I wasn't sure.
Nice jump. This leads us to East Meridia. Back of East Meridia.
Yeah, so back of Wreck Ship and back of East Meridia. Both
back
here at the bottom
North
of...
there. Happy backseat, everybody.
You've seen a lot of backs, huh?
Zeb currently showing their back to Fringo as Zeb is out ahead.
Yeah, a little bit of a lead, just off of slightly better movement. That high jump is nice. Actually puts the tube check in logic, which Fringo unfortunately did not get. Hopefully he just goes over to check Spazer and then probably comes back to the portal with high jump to check it easier. Because he doesn't want to skip that knowledge, even though it's not a portal he wants to be going through just yet.
Nope.
We also did see Fringo turn off Ice Beam. I believe he picked it up.
Yes, Fringo did pick up Ice Beam. But Fringo has allowed them to turn off, so Fringo also got his high jump as well.
Yeah, we're actually going to see Zeb turn off high jump to do this. X-ray deboost, excuse me. I kind of would like to see him turn off ice as well, but it's a small thing. And if Zeb wants to keep ice on, it's not actually that big of a deal. Especially with Varia, a lot of the benefit of turning off ice is farming better for hell runs, but you already have Varia, so that's not really necessary. So I think in that situation, it's fine to keep ice on.
Zeb, once again, nice clear.
Yeah, really well done.
Fringo's going to skip the X-ray check. Was going to say Fringo didn't shut off their high jump. And this is going to lead... Oh, hello, Croc Door. So that's interesting.
Yeah, not surprising to see Fringo just going straight into Upper Norfair. With the various suit, these checks are fairly quick.
Yep.
I would be surprised if we don't see Zeb do the same thing. Unfortunately, just an E-Tank at X-Ray for the 3rd seed in a row. Also worth noting that Fringo just didn't end up getting to check the tube portal. He didn't go back for it, so it doesn't have the back of East Meridian knowledge that Zeb has.
Yep.
Which could matter. Like, if Fringo doesn't get back to there before he finds, gravity and the front of East Meridian, it's possible he ends up going through the back and then gets kind of punished by getting put into a pretty poor area. Like, there's not a lot going on at the bottom of Red Tower. There's a lot of long backtracks that you really want to avoid if you can. Going all the way through Ship or all the way back through Green Bryn.
Yep.
It's not a great place to be.
Nope, Zeb also going to go ahead and grab their Upper Norfair items. Fringo already ahead, though. Fringo is pulled ahead of a bit of a lead now.
Yeah, skipping the X-ray check is
nice
putting
charge, though.
Or putting Fringo a little bit ahead. He does find the charge beam, which, of course, Zeb will be getting to in just a moment.
Yep.
Nice early find. Nice to see both runners getting it as well. So gonna go for this wall jump. Pretty easy with high jump. Although it can be a little finicky if you don't know exactly where to do the wall jump. Zeb, of course, has done it a few times, you could say.
Yep. It's nice to see Upper Norfair this time with no hell runs. We saw quite a few of the recharges from Zeb and Upper Norfair last race. And now it is Fringo. That super's a nice find. 25 supers for Mr. Fringo Fox.
Yep, Zeb most likely going to be getting that as well. Chat pointing out that the X-Ray was actually in logic for Fringo with Varia and Ice. And high jump, actually. I believe.
Nice wave, though.
I believe it is 4 tanks, Varia, Ice, high jump, puts it in logic, but it might be even less than that. But Fringo actually skipping a logical item there at that X-ray. Obviously, does get rewarded. It was just an E-tank, and Fringo will probably not get back, or not bother checking it on the way back, unless gravity is in a very trolly spot.
They high-fived, heading here through the speed-boosted long track room. And now Fringo going to be making their way most likely to the normal wave check. So Fringo out ahead. Charge, Ice, Wave, and Spazer for Fringo. Zeb picking up their wave beam. And now let's see what the actual wave beam location will be.
A small correction from chat. It is actually just Varia, Ice, and 2 E-tanks that puts X-ray in logic. High jump doesn't have anything to do with it. You just need Ice to freeze the waivers and get up to the platform.
There you go. Okay, screw attack. Well,
another good LN item.
About backtracking to Lower Norfair?
Yeah, there still isn't a great way to get out of Dragon, though, and without the knowledge that Dragon isn't there, you're probably not going to see a bold LN call, unless the rest of the map here just sucks, but I don't really know how that would happen.
Yep. Fringo going to go check this door, see where that leads.
Yeah, nice to get the screw attack here to make going through this a little bit faster, just breaking through these bomb blocks.
It's nice for all of these runners to have all 4 of those, regular beams outside of Plasma. And there's Aqueduct. Oh, that's huge. Makes me think gravity's coming up pretty soon.
It is technically possible to get through Aqueduct. They could have done the snail climb.
I was just going to say, snail climb, snail climb.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that from Zeb either, but just a note that it is technically possible for the runners to get through Aqueduct with these loadouts and get to Batoon through Batoon Hallway with the Ice Beam. But yeah, I don't think either runner will be doing it.
So, big shout out to, again, both these amazing runners who just put on an absolutely amazing first 2 races, putting on a great race 3 here. Please go follow these runners. Exclamation point R to follow the runners. Exclamation point C to follow the commentary and tracking team if you want as well. but these runners have just been outstanding in this series. And Fringo gonna take the little bit of a shortcut here.
Fringo's actually abandoning the Gravitron check, worth noting. He didn't go to check that one portal on this side of Upper Norfair before going across the business center. It looks like Zeb's actually going to do the same thing. Both runners able to get through Frog Speedway thanks to having Wave and Spazer.
We're finding a lot of super missiles.
Yeah, it is nice to have a lot of supers, even with Charge Beam. That Space Jump is also pretty nice.
That's huge.
It's not as big with High Jump already, but it is definitely a nice item to have.
19 minutes in, Varia, High Jump, Space, and Screw Attack. And 4 beams.
Yeah, they're a way out of Dragon, away from being in a fairly comfortable go mode for runners of this caliber. I assume both are very capable of suitless Meridia if the need arises. It's just their only way out of Dragon is to get a Crystal Flash spike suit and then kill Dragon with ammo, which is really slow and not something that you want to be relying on, especially this deep into a series. Like I mentioned, this is game 3, of course, so probably not going to see a ton of shenanigans. Yeah, we had a Precious Room as well, so either Gravity or Spring Ball. That Speed Booster is nice.
This seed's becoming a jet seed. So much movement. We just need us, and like you said, just put the items we have. It doesn't matter. You can definitely do suitless Meridia.
Yes, that is kind of catching up to Fringo a little bit.
Yep.
Obviously, he does have a bit of a movement advantage over Fringo. I think has a bit better vanilla times, even though actually Zeb doesn't run vanilla a lot. So basically a rando exclusive player. He just plays a lot of randomizers, so his movement is really good off of that.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna find the business center checks. 2 big doors. And let's see where they lead.
Yeah, both runners actually in the elevator at the same time. Zeb entering as Fringo leaves.
Ooh.
Redfish is not great. They could have jumped down and checked Crab Hole, but that's a little silly.
Fishies.
There's Croc. I expect Fringo
Hello,
to
Croc.
skip Croc. Yeah.
Bye, Croc.
Yeah. With this many items, Zeb is actually doing it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Zeb is doing this Croc here.
Imagine if it's Gravity, though.
Yeah, if it's Gravity, it's really big. If it's Spring Ball, that's also pretty big, because that gets Zeb out of Precious Room in East Meridia, which is the other thing they don't have the ability to do. Yeah, if Croc is something big, this is good for Zeb.
It's just
it's not so big.
Dang. Unfortunate.
Fringo, meanwhile, going back to that Gravitron check that he skipped.
Yeah, Zeb, like, come on, I just did that fight, give me something. I don't think we see Zeb go for the grapple check.
You can just leave in area rando. The door is flashing, so if he wasn't going to do the grapple check, he would have just left. So he's committed. He's hoping for something good at Croc. It's not too slow with speed. The Croc checks aren't super slow, but
nice Shine Spark from Fringo.
Couple
we have the front of wrecked ship is found.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 bosses fairly easily completable. Dragon technically doable, even if it's awkward. I imagine we see a reset if Dragon comes up here, though.
Probably.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Croc was empty.
Croc full of energy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really surprised that this close to being in go mode, Zeb decided to check Croc.
Yeah. So Crocolair was just energy tanks, unfortunately, for major items. So Croc is now dead. Zeb has completely just the Croc area is dead. And it's fan-tuned, so vanilla wrecked ship boss. It'd be really interesting to see how much of wrecked ship Fringo actually checks.
He technically has the ability to check everything, and I wouldn't be surprised that Fringo checks until he finds gravity, or checks everything if gravity isn't here. Has that checked this yet? I think he did Croc before checking Redfish, and he's actually going to go probably down to Mama Turtle.
Yep, and Zeb realizing, like, I need to do something. Just
I don't
losing.
know if this is an I need to do something play. It's more of just a I want to do the things that are available to me at the top of Business Center.
So, Zeb, with not finding anything at Croc, was that a 2.5-minute loss, technically?
Put it more at just 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Go miss that super, that's very sad. Yeah, Zeb gets the Mama Turtle check. He gets to check Crab Hole, and even if Crab Hole is nothing, he can fail. Oh my
It's gravity, that's huge!
That's massive for Zeb.
Oh my good, and if Fringo clears almost everything in wrecked ship, we now know gravity is at Mama Turtle. Oh my goodness, that is huge for Zeb.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with chat. I like checking Mama Turtle and skipping Croc. Zeb being a little bit more thorough, ends up getting rewarded either way with the gravity suit up here.
Yep.
So now has pretty easy movement through West Meridian. Pretty easy movement through everything, honestly.
Yep, and now gonna go check the Crab Hole. Watch this be Turian. Just watch.
Turian wouldn't be that great to find here.
Nope. What do we got?
There's
it's Criteria 4! Might as well go check Moat while we're here.
Crazy how these two crab portals seem to be linked very often. Maybe that's confirmation bias. I feel like it just keeps happening, though.
Oh, there's the front of Lower Norfair, which Zeb will now go take care of. Might as well. This is going to be a very quick Lower Norfair.
Yeah, like I mentioned, back of Lower Norfair is kind of awkward to get back to. I'm interested to see how Zeb decides to route this, if he wants to do a front-to-back LN or actually go back through the front. I'm not sure which one puts him in a better spot, honestly.
Yep, Zeb's in go mode. I agree with chat.
Yeah, Zeb is
Charge
definitely
beam.
in go mode.
Charge Beam, Ice Wave, and Spazer. Plenty of resources here. Fringo taking the save. Fringo not bad with these checks, just is not gonna find gravity in wrecked ship. And there's really nothing else that these runners need outside of... I mean, you can make the argument Plasma would be really nice to find, but gravity is the go mode item that both of these runners need, and Zeb has it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fringo on a little bit of a goose chase here. Going to be checking a bunch of items that's not going to do a whole lot for him. Yeah, I mean, that gravity was really good for Zeb. And I do like the play. I do like the play to check Mama Turtle there, like I said.
Yep.
I think Fringo bailed on a little bit too much. There was a lot of things he could have done at the top of Business Center that he just decided to abandon all of it.
Yep.
And obviously it could have worked out, and we could be talking about how slow Zeb ended up.
Fringo is going to head right back to Red Brinstar through a
very
long way away.
I think Zeb might end up entering ship from this side anyways, so it's not too bad for Fringo. Zeb's going to be doing this from the other side. I think, depending on how Zeb routes. If he does what I think he'll do, he's probably going to head to the bottom of Red Tower and then do both East Meridia and ship from the back. I'm just not 100% sure how he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Sorry,
Dragon.
I like the music.
It was, in fact, Dragon at Lower Norfair, so it's a good thing nobody did that early without a way out of Dragon.
That would have been painful.
Would have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fringo hasn't actually checked this portal here at the tube, so he's going to find this and find out where East Meridia is. Also worth noting that Zeb finding Dragon means that the back of East Meridia portal is even more valuable because he can take the crab hallway, or Cack Alley again. There are no crabs in that alley, thankfully.
Zeb should be done here with Dragon pretty soon. Yep, we're done. Nice Dragon fight from Zeb. I don't know, Zeb doesn't even need to check anything anymore. Zeb's just in full go mode.
Oh, I think Fringo's going down to LN here. It looks like Fringo's pathing to the back of Lower Norfair. Yeah, the back of Lower Norfair. He's going to get a waterway check out of it at least, but if waterway isn't Spring Ball, Fringo's in a little bit of trouble, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. He does have an easy way through the rest of Lower Norfair, at least, with Varia and Screw Attack, and all the other movement items that he has. But no Springwell means that getting out of Dragon is going to be a pain. I don't know how comfortable Fringo is with the RBO strat to get out of Dragon. Excuse me, misspoke a little bit. But he is going to have to do a Crystal Flash to get the Spike Suit out of Dragon's Lair. There's no other way out. I guess this could be Grapple, that's the other way.
That is not either, though. Grapple would make life a little bit easier to get out of Dragon, but... yeah, like I said, Dragon's Lair, but man...
yeah, it could still be a Firefly, either Spring Bowl or Grapple Beam.
Mm-hmm. Zeb is flying. Nicely done to get through that room.
Yeah, it's another instance of... I think Zeb has definitely been the more thorough player in this series, and obviously Fringo was rewarded for playing a little bit more risky and skipping checks in Game 1, but Zeb being a lot more thorough, doing the early Business Center across to Bubble Mountain in Game 2, and then doing both the Croc and Mama Turtle checks at the top of Business Center in this game. Both times was rewarded him pretty handsomely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the value of checking more items. You're more likely to find the good ones, you know?
Yeah, but it's also like we talked about in game number 2, or you talked about Fringo doing the, skipping some checks based on who they're playing. They're playing against the number 2 seed. Like, so you can't... I mean, I don't blame Fringo for wanting to skip some of the checks either, to try getting some sort of an advantage. We saw the early advantage in skipping X-Ray, put Fringo ahead, but then Zeb finding that gravity changed everything.
Zeb actually going to check this other top of Red Tower portal. He's hoping for front of East Meridia or front of...
that's Torian.
Yeah, Turian is maybe even better for him to find than the other ones, but...
I think Zeb is using a tracker.
I mean, I don't think that makes too much of a difference. I think he was, like I said, I think he was planning on getting to Red Brinstar just to check both East Meridia and ship from the back. So now he's just looking for Kraid's Lair.
Yeah, I've just seen, like, Zeb every time, like, if they find a door transition, like, it seems to be using some sort of tracker, maybe it's a mouse or whatever. But...
that's possible.
Anyway, regardless, Zeb is just demolishing right now.
Yeah, tracker or not, Zeb is definitely routing this really well.
Yep.
Did Fringo check Firefly?
No.
Scary. He did save though, so...
If Firefly was grapple.
Too much.
Just imagine.
What am I imagining?
If Firefly was grapple.
Yeah, Fringo's going to be a little bit upset if that's the case. I mean, imagine if it was gravity, right? Like, I feel like not checking that is kind of a mistake here.
Yep. We know it's not gravity, but Fringo doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he looked at it, it was a tank. Okay, so we did check Firefly.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry, Chad.
I was going to say, that's such a weird item to skip, surely. Yeah, Fringo not skipping it makes a lot more sense. I think the spark is a little bit too low. Never mind. I thought I was going to bonk one of the tubes, but he got across.
Bonk.
There is no bonk, do not worry. And yeah, Fringo thinking about the possibility of it being Dragon. He's going to farm up these power bombs. Just to have enough to Crystal Flash. I was going to say, I thought he might be damaging down on purpose in the acid, just to get through that faster.
And here comes Zingo with the speed ball boost through the blocks. Gonna find a Phantoon.
The issue for Fringo with this Dragon is he still has so much health. Like he needs to damage down to below 50 to do a Crystal Flash. And he's still really far away. So Dragon will do 80 damage a hit, so that will help. So we take 5 hits from Dragon. What?
Yeah, we're still missing a couple doors. We're missing Aqueduct. Oh no, we found Aqueduct. My bad. I was looking at the tracker. I'm like, we haven't found Kraid's lair.
Yeah, we're missing Kraid's lair and...
which is pre-Aqueduct.
The other portal we're missing. Oh, it's Kraid's lair and pre-Aqueduct. Okay.
Which would make sense. Yeah.
Alright, now Fringo's low enough. Just needs to wait for another goose cycle from Dragon. Alright, looking good.
Nice Crystal Flash.
Should be good from Fringo. Yeah, so what happens there, for those who don't know, is the Crystal Flash gets interrupted by Dragon picking you up, and it puts Samus in a weird state where she essentially has, you know, when you flash after charging up a Shine Spark, she's basically in that state permanently until you spark. So Fringo will be able to use that to spark out of Dragon.
Nice. Nice Dragon fight. Both racers have the same 2 bosses down.
Fringo just needs to spark from the right place. Does he have a suit? Usually when you get the spike suit, you have a different beam color. Fringo's Spazer still looks normal. I hope he has it. Okay,
yeah,
we're fine.
Okay. Fine, chat. It's all good.
Nothing to worry about.
There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, but please stay continuing to watch this amazing best of 3. Please don't go anywhere. If not, I get fired. Derp sues me for telling chat to go away. It becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, so chat having a little bit of confusion of what Fringo had, which is called a flash suit and a blue suit, which is what you get from sparking into Dragon. Blue suit gives you permanent blue, which you would have normally from running through speed, so you're able to press down and activate a Shine Spark. Whereas Flash Suit, just you're in the Shine Spark state permanently. And so in RBO, usually, not in RBO, but there's a few different categories where you want to get the blue suit instead. Actually, RBO does it as well, so that it's easier to not lose the Flash Suit, essentially. That wasn't a great explanation, but basically blue suit's a lot easier to keep because you can't accidentally Shine Spark.
Yep.
So
I'm only kidding, chat. Derp's not going to sue me. But Fringo wants to sue himself for not having the bombs.
I can see you do that in RBO. I don't know why I was thinking you don't for some reason.
I don't know why I haven't so much suing going on. Anyway,
I haven't thought about RBO in a while. It's a silly category. A lot of shenanigans going on. Either way, Fringo made it out of Dragon. Really impressive by him.
I am all excited for the... bring on the shenanigans in a race. Are you kidding me? Bring it on. Oh my goodness, Fringo is going to go acid dive. Okay.
This is interesting.
This is really interesting with no gravity.
He'll be fine. With Varia, you don't lose a lot of health from the acid. And you're still able to wall jump with the acid physics. Fringo needs to be a little bit careful, though. Alright, we're fine.
Nice escape.
I guess fine, maybe a little bit of an overstatement. Fringo is... Oh, no. Hopefully he saved after Dragon, at least.
I think he did.
I would assume he did. That's actually really unfortunate that he killed the enemy and died to the... He died to the shot, I believe. The little, the French fry beam. Yeah, it looks like he saved after Dragon, so not too bad of a time loss.
Vanilla Crade and Ridley at East Meridia.
Yeah, I didn't actually see how Zeb routed to Kraid's lair. I was focusing on what Fringo was doing.
Same. We're about to find out.
Yeah, I guess he took the aqueduct portal to Upper Northter. Did he do that?
Yeah, pre-aqueduct to Kraid's lair.
Yeah, I know Kraid's lair was at pre-aqueduct. I'm just not entirely sure how Zeb routed to it. Either way, Zeb only needs to get into East Meridia and deal with Ridley.
Yep.
Hopefully, someone in chat can help us out.
Ringo is going to the screw attack check, it looks like.
No, he's skipping through.
Okay.
I think it's fine. You've already done the hard part of Suitless, which is getting out of Dragon. Although, he does still need some way out of Precious Room. It is technically possible to jump from Ridley's lair up Precious Room because of how the door transition works. You keep your momentum since the doors face the same way. But I don't know if that's something that Fringo knows.
Yeah, Fringo knows that he still has Ice Beam, right?
Nah, it's up in the air. Zeb, meanwhile, headed over to his aqueduct. Just going to do a front-to-front East Meridia.
Easy, easy.
Which ends up working out better than what I thought he was going to do, which is East Meridia back to front.
Yep.
Or...
Fringo's heading back to the...
Fringo going to take the refill. Might be checking Gauntlet? I don't think so, though. Probably just wants the refill.
Yeah. It's a good refill. Was low on resources. Be nice, Botwoon! Botwoon, really?
Botwoon is never nice. Don't let anyone fool you.
Rude.
It's alright, not too bad. Zeb had plenty of ammo, plus charge beam, so he wasn't
This
any
has been
danger.
an amazing race. Absolutely amazing race from these
Yeah, Zeb
runners.
is once again on really crazy pace. He might end up having the top 2 race times in this tournament. Not too bad of a time loss. Yeah, Zeb, after losing game 1, has been putting on a clinic. And obviously, a lot of the things he did worked out as well. You can say the same for Fringo in game 1. It is randomizer, after all, but I do agree with the way Zeb was playing these last 2 seeds for the most part, and he has been rewarded really well with how the portals worked out in game 2 and where gravity was in game 3.
Yeah, the gravity made all the difference in this game.
Yeah, no question.
Fringo coming across Torian.
There's a portal from Red Brinstar to Upper Norfair, right? Yeah, Croc leads to the middle of Red Tower, it looks like. So then Zeb takes that, or he goes back through Aqueduct, takes that portal to the middle of Red Tower, and then goes up to Turian. And we're once again looking at a low 50 time for Zeb. Maybe a little bit more than last seed, but this is still going to be really fast. Fringo, meanwhile, I have bad news. He might be headed back to Croc.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not quite going to be a sub 50 for Zeb, but it is going to be around the same pace as last time, which was like a 52, a mid 52. I think he was. He's looking at probably a little bit slower, more like a mid 53. But it is still really fast for Zeb. And actually, he has a lot more movement items in Turian, so it might be even faster than I think. Yeah, Zeb is going back to Aqueduct. Fringo. Alright, he's not checking Croc, thank goodness. He's actually going to where gravity is at Mama Turtle. That's big for him. Hopefully he's able to get through. Did he unmorph too late? No, he's good. Alright. So Fringo, shortly about to get his gravity suit. He's right next to Kraid's lair too, which is really nice. He'll be able to route that in right now, instead of having to go back for it like Zeb did. But Zeb already 2 bosses ahead, headed to Turian. This is a really strong performance from Zeb. Honestly, in all 3 seeds, I would say Zeb put on a strong performance. Even though he didn't win game 1, I still like how he played it.
Yep.
And obviously, Fringo putting on a great performance as well. Just didn't quite have things work out his way in the last 2 games.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but
yeah, he still got to show off a lot of cool stuff. Showed off the Dragon escape with the flash suit.
and that was really cool to see. Like I said, we've seen blue suits, we've seen spike suits, now we've seen the crystal flash escape. That was just, it's so cool to see some of these tricks. Especially just as like a observer of speedrunning. These just look... So, swag strats and stuff like that, always appreciated. And Fringo is gonna go fight Vanilla Kraid. Kraid deciding not to want to leave the lair this time, in this rando. Zeb, nice Metroid run room.
Yeah, with all the movement items except Spring Ball, he's able to do some pretty sick strats on the Metroids.
Yep. Also amazing that we didn't really see bombs all this game. We saw it last seed, neither runner. They had plenty of stuff by that point. So it goes to show, bombless is not a problem. Especially in Rando.
Yeah, vanilla bombs they're a nice item to have, but very rarely are they going to end up being required. Especially when you find this many power bombs, and usually, for the most part, these seeds have been good in giving enough power bombs early that not having vanilla bombs isn't a huge deal.
Yep.
See what Fringo finds at Kraid Closet. Just a
Just
reserve.
a reserve. Damn.
I don't know if Zeb checked that earlier. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
There's no need to, but it is a pretty quick check. Just a door transition, basically. Zeb going for this baby skip. Looks good.
Ooh, nicely done! Way to go, Zeb316.
Well done
That's right,
from
Jared.
Zeb.
That's right, I said Zeb316.
You'll have to talk to him about whether he wants you to call him that or not.
Zeb the Great, Zeb the Goat, Zeb the future winner. Even though we all know Derp's winning.
I wouldn't go that far. Zeb is definitely one of the favorites for this tournament. You know, he is a fantastic randomizer player, and I think this mode especially, he has put a ton of work in over many years of playing randomizer. He's a scary opponent, no matter what your skill level at the game is. And Fringo, no slouch either. We've seen some impressive things from him, like I said.
This coming from the guy, ladies and gentlemen, that defeated the #1. Just saying.
Come on now. This is about Zeb. This is Zeb's moment. Don't take it away from him.
No, absolutely not. Like I said, Zeb's put on an amazing race. 50 some odd minutes we're gonna see here. What was it? 52 the last seed? Just incredible to see here.
Yeah, gonna be a little bit slower than last seed. Probably looking at more like a 54. But still, that's a crazy time for area rando, and getting a time like that twice in a row is so impressive for Zeb.
Yep. Also, these beams are hitting Mother Brain, by the way. Even Mother Brain's head does not flash white. It is hitting. I wonder why that glitch is like that. Do you know, Derp? Just like if we see
well,
Zeb
it's not a glitch.
nuts.
It's just it's something with Zeb's capture card. It doesn't quite run at the same frame rate.
Oh, I
And
see.
so situations like that where Mother Brain flashes for 1 frame, it doesn't get captured. You can see sometimes the same thing with the Metroids, especially on older capture feeds,
Oh, I see
where
what you're saying, yeah.
the Metroids, the green of the Metroids actually like flashes in and out. So sometimes on old capture cards, it just doesn't show up, and so Metroids are just red blobs.
Oh, that's good to know. I was wondering. I wasn't sure if it was like a glitch or something, but that is good to know. Oh, and there was Grapple. Right outside of Bot Wound. That's where Grapple was this entire time.
It would have been
Bot
nice.
Wound. Yep, would have been a nice item to have, but not really, needed. Both runners have already defeated.
Oh, almost full happy.
No, Fringo! Fringo also
So-
got a bad Bot Wound fight, too.
Fringo was just a couple pixels too low for that full happy. It was really close.
It was pretty. Hey, look, we
Zeb
got to
making
stand
sure
up.
he doesn't get locked in the crouching position right in front of Mother Brain.
Yep.
Usually Mother Brain just kicks you out in that situation, but sometimes she doesn't and you just get owned. So good on Zeb to avoid it.
Nice stand up here from Zeb.
Yeah, and like I mentioned in last race, Charge Ice Wave Spazer doesn't save a ton of time with stand up. It's only going to be a few seconds, but still. Zeb squeezing out all the time save he can. Fringo on the Ridley fight. Ridley looking mighty dead already. There we go.
Mother Brain crying and screaming as it goes bye-bye.
Yeah, I was hating on Zeb for no reason. He is matching his time from last time. It's going to be around a 53 flat.
I'm so impressed to be able to watch. This is the first time I've seen watching Zeb live there, Derp, and this is very impressive. There's a reason Zeb's ranked #2.
Yeah, Zeb, one of the smartest players in the rando community. He's been good at rando for a long time. He's probably done more seeds than anyone else.
I mean, you did say Zeb was his genius earlier, so clearly warranted. Zeb definitely putting on genius routing. This entire race in this seed came down to gravity at Mama Turtle.
Yeah, and like I said, I like making those checks at the top of Business Center, even though, in theory, the Mama Turtle check is a point of no return. You're not going to get back up to the Business Center elevator. I think it's still the correct play in that situation, rather than going all the way back like you saw Fringo did. And Zeb was rewarded with that gravity, and he took it home quickly. Already had all the movement items he wanted. That gravity just let him fly through the seat as he finishes in first place with an official time of 52 minutes and 59 seconds. That gives Zeb the 2 fastest times in the tournament as he beats Fringo Fox 2-1 and advances in the winner's bracket.
Zeb is cracked!
He's crazy.
And as Fringo now routes all the way back. I'm gonna mark Fringo as done as well. I want to get these interviews started. Lot to talk about.
Yeah, we are joined by the victorious Zeb316. What's up, GGs? How you feeling?
GG. I feel kind of scared. Like, I was scared that whole time. Like, after losing that first game, I was like, man, I really don't want to lose yet in this tournament.
Yeah.
Joined by Fringo Fox as well. GGs. Solid performance all around. How you feeling?
Thanks.
Yeah, so the first one I felt pretty good about. I felt really good about the way that like I was able to hell run Upper Norfair without like taking a single refill. I think that maybe I should have gone back to East Meridia before Lower Norfair, because I was thinking that East Meridia was a lot closer to Torian than it was. So I think that was maybe a mistake. But yeah, like felt pretty good about that one, so I was pretty sad that Fringo beat me in that one. I felt like it kind of rattled me a little bit for the second one at the start of it, somewhat. But like just playing a little tenser, I guess, than usual. But
Well, GG's to both the runners. That was so much fun to watch. And realistically, that third race came down to gravity, which we know was at
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about both the Mama Turtle and the Croc play for Zeb.
I really didn't feel good about doing Croc. I really
Yeah.
didn't want to do it. Like
I was gonna say I was surprised you were doing it because I didn't really like the play there, but
like,
I did like the
I'm
Mama
not
Turtle
in
play.
go mode yet. It's just so like it just like has the potential to like you can't beat the sea without Croc. Like there are scenarios that could happen where that was the case. Like with Fantoon in East Meridia, potentially something like that, or just no Spring Ball or Grapple and Dragon's Vanilla.
Plasma was at Gauntlet in the last seed too. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was
The other
Plasma-
thing I wanted to ask you, Zeb, I know you usually don't use a tracker for these. Were you using one in Game 3?
Yeah, I was.
I thought so. I think we were talking about it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I've started using trackers for these races, especially the best of threes. Just I don't want to forget stuff, I guess. And it's pretty easy to forget stuff by game 3 in these, if you're trying to do it all in your head. Like to mix stuff up, that like to think that somewhere goes somewhere that went last game instead of where it's going this game. So, but yeah, I felt good about that last seed too. I just felt really bad about doing Croc. That was the only thing I felt bad about. I was worried that Fringo had done the same thing and skipped Croc, basically.
Yeah, I did. I skipped a Croc.
Yeah, that route plus no Croc is really fast for this seed because
Plus
all
no
the movement
X-ray.
items were so available early on. So you already had like everything when you found gravity.
And that's kind of, I really don't like these kinds of seeds where you're just looking for that gravity kind of. You got everything else. So if you like don't find that gravity, there's not even any consolation prizes out there. There's not like a speed or a high jump that you could like find that could maybe like speed you up if you do different checks from your opponent. They find gravity early. So this one, like finding an early Varia and then early all the movement items, but then like not quite enough to finish a suitless is really awkward. Like that's just a really annoying seed to play.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Fringo, I do want to shout out in Game 3 the Crystal Flash suit to get out of Dragon. I want to
That was
ask what you were thinking about
That was
while that
pretty.
was going on. You know, going through Lower Norfair and then actually doing that.
To be honest, I was thinking that Gravity is at Law and Warfare, and I was hoping that Dragon isn't in Law and Warfare, but sadly he was. And in this situation, I thought if I go back, I would lost so many times. So I did a Dragon suitless. I did it often, so I know what to do. But it's even a little bit scary because when you do a mistake, you died and you lost even more time, even when you go back. So yeah. And after that, I died. I think on the way back one time because my screw attack doesn't work. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I think you got hit by the projectile
diamond.
actually.
Yeah, I
You
don't
need a refund on that screw attack, by the way.
Very true.
All right, I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
Derp, if that's okay with you, I got a couple questions here
Yeah,
for the
go for
runners. Fringo. And to Zeb, this is to both of you. Game 2. There was a bit of route divergence. Zeb went back through Cathedral Hell Run into Bubble Mountain and found what ended up being Space and Screw Attack, which I think was just really helped Zeb out. Yeah. With Speed and Speed and Space. Speed and Space, which I really think allowed Zeb to fly through. Fringo, what was the decision to not...
Well, I can probably answer that because I'm guessing that Fringo didn't do X-ray deboost in that seed.
Yeah, he
I
did
guess
not.
I had only 3 E-tanks at this moment, so that's
Yep.
the reason why I didn't do the
Yep.
hell runs. But
I had
I'm not
4.
sure. You had
So
4. Okay, makes sense.
that's the difference. Like,
There you
I
go.
had 4 E-tanks because I did X-ray deboost, which means that I can do Cathedral Hell Run, and it's like, it's still pretty bad to do the Bubble Mountain checks, but it's not that bad. And like the alternative was going up like Meme Route or falling down West Meridia, both of which seemed like worse to me when I'm on 4 E-tanks. So that kind of is the reason, but if I had 3 E-tanks, which Fringo had, then I think it makes perfect sense to decide to bail on that Upper Norfair because it's just much worse to do Upper Norfair there on 3 instead of 4.
Cool.
Yeah. That's basically what I was thinking, but makes sense without
Cool.
the E-tanks. Just kind of have to bail. It's still technically possible with 3, but it is out of logic.
Mhm.
Plus, Fringo didn't have he didn't have full energy, so
Yeah,
would have
and
had to farm for it as well.
I thought it was really important there that I did ice first before high jump because then like I managed to get the refill after the ice hell run. And that really saved me like having to farm it all before the Cathedral hell run.
Gotcha. All right, my last question for the runners. I like asking this question because I think it's pretty fun. Of the 3 races that you all had today, what is one thing, and I'll leave this to both of you, what's one thing that both of you really liked about any of the runs? Seb, you're the winner. We'll start with you.
So I liked being able to skip a suit in the first seed, even though I lost anyway. I think that this mode is really cool because you skip suits way more often than almost any other mode. So I really like seeds that like let you do that, and especially seeds that reward you for doing that. Though the first one I don't necessarily think was one that rewarded you for it.
Cool. Fringo, what about you?
Yep. I also really liked all 3 races. I think they were extremely different, but it was a lot of fun to play against Zeb. I mean, Zeb is one of the best players in SMR worldwide, so I really appreciated to play against Zeb, and of course I learned a lot today, especially in the second and third race. I did a couple of mistakes, or I wouldn't say mistakes, but I did another decisions, and Zeb did it really well. He checked Mama Turtle, for example, in the third race, and it paid off. I didn't. I did a little bit of risk to go to Law and Warfare, and yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really happy and appreciated to play against Zeb, and looking forward to the next race.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that like there's just always more stuff to learn with these settings. I think that in terms of like competitive balance, these are some of the best settings out there, and there's just like so many unique situations that come up in these seeds that like there generally is an answer that's better, but it's really complicated. And like trying to figure that out is hard. And so like even for me, like I'm still learning even as I'm running seeds too, and I've run like probably like close to 1,000 of this seeds of this settings, so I think that there's just like a lot to take in with these seeds.
Wow.
Very nice. Derp, you got anything else?
No, I think I've said all I want. You can go ahead and send us out.
All right, Runner, is anything else you want to say before I get us on out of here?
Nope, just GG to Fringo again. Thanks to you two for commentating, and I think it was Dane for tracking all three. Dane, really appreciate that. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yep, the same. Thank you guys. Thanks for comms. Thanks for restreaming. Thanks for watching. And again, GG, Zeb.
Excellent. All right. So with that best of 3 over, Zeb advances bracket to take on Glove, and Fringo is now in the lower bracket again. This is a double elimination format, so Fringo is going to take on the winner of the race between Count Cranberry and Ace Zero. That's a loser bracket best of 1. That will be happening tomorrow. So we have a loaded lineup for you tonight. Go take a break, go take a rest. We have 2 heavy hitting best of 3s. On Speedgaming 3 will be MM2 NES cartridge versus Nevdi at 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and they are going to play all 3 at the same time. So it's going to be one after another, just like you saw with Ringo, Fox, and Zeb, back to back to back. And then Kip versus Adraxis starting at 8:10 p.m. Eastern on Speedgaming 4. Again, back to back to back. And then later on tonight, the best of 1 between Gwen versus Zost. That's going to be on the main Speedgaming channel at 10:10 p.m. Eastern. An absolutely loaded night. Big shout out and thank you to my co-commentator Derp. Big shout out to Digi Derp for this an absolutely amazing 3 games worth of tracking. We know it is a lot. For Derp, for Digi, for Fringo and Zeb, my name is Adam, aka WXFan21. We'll see you next mission. Bye, buddy.